Texas, meeting with Border Patrol agents and first responders to get an update on the situation there. Former President Trump about 300 miles away touring Eagle Pass. The president addressed Trump directly after Republicans in Congress killed a bipartisan bill to fix the border crisis with new funding. Trump has made Biden's handling of illegal immigration a centerpiece of his re-election effort.
Instead of playing politics with this issue, instead of telling members of Congress to block this legislation, join me, or I'll join you.
The United States is being overrun by the Biden migrant crime. It's a new form of vicious violation to our country.
In a new Gallup poll out just this week, Americans named immigration as their top issue. And my co-anchor Wale Aliyu is live in San Ysidro tonight, leading our team coverage from the border. Wale.
Port of entry busy tonight, as it is many nights, Kimberly, and with immigration being a key issue in November's presidential race, we wanted to highlight the immigration issues impacting San Diego because it's a big issue here in our county as well. In the last week, the Migrant Welcome Center shut down, literally shut down as we reported because funding ran out, putting a strain on the nonprofits and organizations now helping all of these migrants as they are dropped off on our streets. Earlier this week, the County Board of Supervisors approved a plan to develop a long-term migrant shelter, but they're also calling on the Biden administration to bring additional funding for the Shelter and Services program. And today, their message got amplified by Senator LaFonza Butler. She sent a letter to the Biden administration pushing for that crucial funding. Senator Butler told us over Zoom that she met with San Diego Mayor Todd Gloria and Board of Supervisors Chairwoman Nora Vargas.
So I drafted a letter that essentially asked for the same investment that was in the bipartisan border and national security bills that Republicans voted down. It is incredibly important that we not leave our cities and our counties to foot the bill, and because Republicans rejected the national sort of solution in that legislation, it's still my job to advocate on behalf of San Diego. It's still my job.
Senator Butler has not gotten a response from the letter yet, and there's no timeline on when there could be a response. We will, of course, keep you updated if and when we get that response. Now, we turn to our ABC 10 News reporter, Laura Azuelo, who's taking a deeper look at the claims about migrants driving up the crime rates in the country.
Well, Wale, those claims are mostly untrue, according to studies by places like Princeton and Stanford. And although they're rare, according to statistics, there have been recent examples of migrants arrested with violent criminal histories. The debate about crime and immigration was recently reignited after a Georgia nursing student was murdered while out for a run last week. According to ICE, the suspect entered the country illegally in Texas in 2022. However, the numbers show these crimes are not the norm for migrants or asylum seekers entering the country. A 2023 Stanford study showed immigrants were imprisoned at a lower rate than U.S.-born citizens. In 2020, a Princeton study found undocumented immigrants in Texas usually have fewer arrests than legal residents.
I was responsible for putting more than 1,000 people in prison.
Neama Rahmani is a former federal prosecutor who worked cases right here in San Diego. He says most of his cases involve the smugglers and not the undocumented immigrants.
Primarily talking about drug trafficking organizations or the Mexican cartels.
But the arrests of people crossing the border illegally with violent criminal histories do happen. According to Border Patrol Chief Jason Owens, 11 people along the southwest border were arrested over the course of 72 hours this week. Criminal history ranging from child molestation to murder or aggravated assault. Immigration attorney Tammy Lynn says they are in the minority.
And they want to have their cases heard in court. So they can have long-term stability and legal status while here.
Lynn explains what we've seen during street releases. Some men released wearing ankle monitors, a part of a program ICE calls Alternatives to Detention, a way of ensuring compliance with release and case management. A debate expected to heat up as Election Day in November approaches.
Candidates for president who are trying to use this issue, not necessarily to solve it, but to maybe mobilize their base.
Laura Acevedo, ABC 10 News.